Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I wanted to take a look at all these protests that are arising around the earth in support of Palestine and against Israel. And this is a taunting proverb to the Edomites and their rulership, their worldwide rulership, which is at the end. They're seeing their end. They're seeing the people rise up against them. And it's all going to culminate into World War III, or the Valley of Yehoshaphat, Jehoshaphat, or otherwise known as Armageddon. But regular people would know it as World War III. And they're not happy. They see the injustices done, and they're demanding that their governments, particularly the ones in Western Asia, or what's known as the Middle East, they're demanding that they support the Palestinian people and go against Israel. And so let's take a look at this video, and then we will get into the scriptures.
Ce chemin étroit et sombre me séduit. L'impression qui soigne mon cœur de E.T. Couvert d'oseille ego, je suis sous canon. De la haine en revanche, j'en ai tellement. Et je comprends pas pourquoi on comprend pas. T'es seul dans le noir, j'espère que ton nom ne t'a pas lâché. Et ils croient savoir pourquoi on m'en bat. J'serai pas le premier, ni le dernier. QRF, ceux qui crèvent à part. J'm'endors sous un calvaire Zadar. J'prends la drogue, c'est pas un hasard. J'prends mes thunes, j'entre à la casa. J'étais mal à la lune, les péchés m'entêtent. Les anges me parlent, mais moi j'entends pas. J'suis dans ma bulle, j'suis baisé, j'm'embête. Et j'comprends pas, pourquoi j'comprends pas. Ce chemin.
And it just makes me think of, in Proverbs, how it says, or I believe it's Proverbs, correct me if I'm wrong, but it talks about how when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And that right there should show you that the wicked are in power right now, and they are in rulership, and they are greedy, and they are bloody and violent, and have no idea how the earth should be ran, and the people are rising up against it. I also think of Job, where it talks about how every hand of the wicked shall be upon them, and you go into that word for wicked there, and it goes into laborers. So it's speaking of the other nations, particularly Israel, but the laborers could consist of any of the nations, and they're all going to come up against Esau. Again, in Job, it says that this is the portion of a wicked man, their heritage, and they're about to get chased out of the earth. As it says also, I believe it's in Ezekiel, could be wrong about this one too, but it talks about how thou hast not hated blood, so blood shall pursue thee. So it's about to get violent for all the heathen, really for the whole earth. In Daniel, it says that it's a time of trouble such as never before, and that's going into Jacob's trouble, but it's going to evolve into trouble for all the nations, and it's Jacob's trouble because it's Jacob's last time of trouble, but for the other nations, it's just getting started. Especially for Esau. Esau is going down. People see his wickedness and how they've been running, how they've been operating in their deceptive manner, in their violent manner, and all all that colonizing has a second portion. They're about to get colonized. And so let's get into the scriptures. And this is the only one we're going to read today in 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 28, because it's a lot of these Middle Eastern or Arab nations that are rising up, and they're gonna bring the fight to Esau before too long. So this is 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 28. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. And you're seeing all these different Arab nations rising up. You're seeing Egypt have something to say. You're seeing Saudi Arabia. You're seeing Yemen. You're seeing Iran. Hadn't seen too much on Iraq, but I'm sure they've got something to say about it. And they're all in support of Palestine. And they're all, I think I even saw Iran put up a black flag the other day, and it's a sign of war. And these nations are going to join together to fight against the beast being NATO and EU, with America being that whore that rides the back of the beast. They're going to fight, and then as well as Russia's going to be involved, China's going to be involved. Everybody's going to be involved against the beast, primarily the US, Babylon, and Israel, the land of Israel, and those people that run it. And it's even going to have some of the beast turn against those two, against America and Israel. Some of those EU nations are going to go against what's been going on, because it says the beast shall hate the whore and make her desolate, burn her with fire. So they're going to turn too. It says, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, and that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Because it's going to be quite the conglomeration. It's going to be like Voltron almost, with these different nations joining together to make for a formidable foe. It says, also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. The Carmanians are the Iranians. And with great power shall they come and join battle with them. So they're going to join up with these Arab nations, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. The Assyrians, speaking to, or the modern day Assyrians, would be the Edomites. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand. So the battle's turned in their favor, remembering their nature. And you go in Genesis, and it speaks of Ishmael, because that's one of their forefathers, or that is their forefather, and how he's a wild man, and he will be in the midst of his brethren, with every hand upon him and his hand upon everyone. Just paraphrasing, but they are wild. They do suicide bombings, or S-word bombings, excuse me. And yeah, they're just wild. And it says, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together, so breathing together, operating together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled bled and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them, and in their hosts shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. And so there's going to be all out war eventually. That's why you're hearing talks of the draft and certain legislation being put forth for all genders to participate in this draft, because America and Israel have quite the war to be fought. There's a lot for them to pay for, and this is their downfall, and it's the downfall of the Arab nations as well, because they are our enemies too, enemies to the Israelites, that being the Negroes, the Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as our scattered, who are going to come looking like these other nations, but go back through their father's line to Israel, to a Negro, a Latino, or a Native American. They might not know it yet, but those are our people too. And I believe a lot of our people are within the Palestinians. You could even say the curses are on them, considering how much they've been getting beat up by Esau. But we will see in that day when the multitude comes. And Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. And shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.